Yeah, see, this is an old one. Yeah, I know, they're leftovers.
I'm 61. Look at here. I might be the ocean. I don't work for too hard. Okay, your first name is Kevin? Go get me something else. That's great you brought that. I can't find I've seen I had to figure out what I was. No, right? Oh, what
Defenders are. I'm sure we all do. But basically, we're a group of volunteers who want to improve, protect, and defend the Wabash River. And I send out, and every one of us sends out the deepest, warmest, heartfelt thank you to everyone who helps us every year. Y'all are wonderful. You're the best of the best.
Yeah.
Isn't that right? Okay, I've got a few instructions. Pretty simple things. Things are a little different. Meth labs. If you see something that you suspect as being a meth lab, do not touch it. Do not call 911. Mark it very clearly with the construction tape, and if you need some, I've brought extra. Then text your location. It doesn't have to be exact if you don't know how to do that. Just your general location. Text it to Keith. Keith's number is on these little emergency cards that every team leader should have. The next thing, remember, you must have life jackets in your boats. Next, upon return, I want all the team captains to confirm that all their members are in and off the river. Once you do that, if you could turn in these little tags that I had you write your team name on the back of, if the team leaders could turn that in with your lanyards, then we can make sure that everyone's safe and accounted for. If you need help during this cleanup, text or call Keith. It's probably going to be easier on him if you text him. And then he can call you back. And of course, for serious emergencies, never fail to call 911. Just don't call them and say, I found a plastic water bottle that looks funny. They don't need that. Leave that for us to decide. Any items that you come across that you can't remove, that need heavy equipment or whatever, just mark them again with the construction tape and report that location to one of us when you get back up here from the cleanup. The next thing, please try to return somewhere between 11:30 and 1. That's for lunch. Next thing, there are water bottles available. Do we know where those are at?
Right down here on the corner.
They're hiding. Over here in the corner, there is water available, so please stay hydrated today. And last, if you have any questions, see me after we take our group picture, and we're going to do that in just a few minutes. Oh, one more thing, I'm getting flashed at here. If you haven't filled out a survey slip and would like to, they're down here on this last table. Please do so before we take off, or you can do it during lunch. Again, and I guess the last most important thing is stay safe and have fun today.
Yes.
Oh gosh, thanks for turning me off. That all of you have come, and many of you year after year, to help with the clean out. Also, many of you know that a lot of us put in a lot of hours throughout the year in a lot of different ways for the Wabash River Defenders. these don't happen just by themselves. We have a lot of people that we need to thank. We have the Knights of Columbus. That's, what's it been, 5 years now that Knights of Columbus has provided lunch. So when you get back off the river, know that there will be food ready for you here. And thank you very much, Knights of Columbus, for working on that for us and providing that meal. We appreciate that very much. Wabash River Heritage Corridor Commission is a commission appointed by the state with representatives from all of the 19 counties that the Wabash River passes through in Indiana. We want to thank them specifically. They've donated over $6,000 to Wabash River Defenders over the years, and we've been able to utilize that in a significant way in making sure that this particular event goes on each year, but also to take care of some of the other expenses of the River Defenders, so we appreciate it. And we have some alternates that are represented on the group as well. So many of you, one of the big things that we have brought out of the river, as you know, have been tires. That was one of the huge piles of material that was in that you've seen in the photos over the years, and many of you asked what happens to those tires. We happen to be fortunate enough to have a tire processor over in Peru that's probably one of the least expensive places to take tires in the whole state, Leffler Tire Company, and we worked with him. But fortunately, we also have the Wabash County Solid Waste District, who has covered the cost of recycling those tires. They provide for, what is it, Jen, a couple bucks a piece for those tires. And so it's been a godsend for the River Defenders to be able to rely on the Solid Waste Management District in that way to take care of those tires and many of the other costs for getting rid of the material that's pulled out of the river. And most specifically, and we couldn't do any of this without all of you. We appreciate it so much. We've been doing this now since 2011. You've removed over 4,800 tires, a car, the front end of a bus, high-powered rifles, and over 124 tons of just regular trash and debris. 82% of that has been recycled, so that's a pretty major accomplishment. We're very close to having the river debris free. We've drawn the attention around the state as being one of the premier clean out events that goes on annually and right here in Wabash County. So thank you very much for being a part of that and being major contributors to that. A part of the administration of Wabash County or the Wabash River Defenders has been to develop organizationally, and we're in the process of securing some funding. We have secured some funding to really start up as an organized, membership-driven kind of a program. We do have, Jen, we do have membership brochures now. This was grant funded through the National Environmental Education Foundation. These are available. Please consider being an official member of the Wabash River Defenders. You can take one of these brochures today with you if you want, but if you are headed for the river and don't want to take one with you, we will have these available. Please consider your membership with the River Defenders to continue working on future programming and all of these programs that we have in mind, these things that we're working on. We're moving in a direction of working on water quality and improving the water quality in the Wabash River. So a lot of the proceeds that come from membership will be dedicated to those kinds of programs. So please take a look at those, have a brochure, take it home, take a look at it, and consider being a member.
Hey, Wabash River Defenders, it's a great day.
Yes.
We're all gonna get wet today.
this 15 minutes here is kind of a tradition with us, and it kind of reminds me of the start of the Indianapolis 500. We do some things, even though they're kind of hokey, every year. So put up with me if you would. One of the traditions over the past 6 years, I think it's 6, 7 years since 2011, that y'all don't know about is that we are celebrating an anniversary this day every year. Tiffany and Nate Thomas, happy anniversary! How you talk, Tiffany, to spend your anniversary here with us every year? I don't know, you're crazy. Each year, we've selected a person or a couple who've exhibited a great love for the river and contributed a great effort for our cause. And I'd like to have 2 people come up with me now, Gary Hunter and Susan Hunter. Come here, Gary. Come on, come on. They don't know about this. Susan? No people have organized more land and water teams to bring more tires and debris from the Huntington County line to the city of Wabash than Gary Hunter.
Yeah.
No one has stood closer to Gary's side than his special wife, Susan. She's been there all along. Every step of the way, Susan. Gary and Susan together were among that small cadre of people at the LeGros Cafe in February of 2011 when a commitment was shared with that group of people to clean up the Wabash River no matter what it took. So, whereas the Miami Indians called the Wabash River the Wabashiki, and the French fur traders called it the Wabachi. Whereas the Wabash River is the longest free-flowing river east of the Mississippi. Whereas the Wabash River has served Indian nations, explorers and trappers, colonial militia, and the pioneer settlers of this Hoosier state. Whereas the Wabash River Defenders are a group of volunteers who seek to protect and defend the Wabash River as a legacy for their children and grandchildren. And whereas certain individuals stand high among all others for nurture and devotion to our Wabash River. Now therefore, the Wabash River Defenders hereby and forever confer and bestow the title and echelon, Tall Sycamore of the Wabash, to Gary and to Susan Hunter.
Thank you, guys. I see the same faces here every year. Thanks. And new ones. Thanks a lot. Wow.
Thank you, Gary and Susan. You're special people.
Hey, Gary.
Today, the Wabash River Defenders will improve, protect, and defend the Wabash River. By the end of today's clean-out, the river will contain less debris than at any time in our lifetimes. You all are the key. You are making the Wabash River more attractive and more appealing for people to come and use. You are making this river a better river for your children and grandchildren for decades ahead. Today's challenge is to make the Wabash River better than ever. Now, put up with me. We do this every year. Right here, we sing on the banks of the Wabash. It's the river song. If you can't see the words, they're right here on this banner. Yeah, you might gather together. Oh, the moonlight bird and night along the Wabash. From the fields there comes the breath of new mown hay. Through the sycamores the candlelights are gleaming. On the banks of the Wabash far away. for that.